It was about 4 a.m. and I woke up with a start. The entire building was just shaking very violently. It was quite loud, and I honestly couldn't tell you how long it lasted. I just remember thinking, please be done, please be done. I have two young children, and one was in the next room, and we could hear her calling out to us, but it was shaking too hard for us to get up.
Goodness, and were your children scared?
They were. One actually, my 4-year-old stayed asleep the whole time. She was under my arm and in bed, but my 7-year-old woke up and she was quite terrified. She said she thought she was dreaming. But we had to wait until the shaking subsided before we could go get her.
Goodness, so it was so intense that you couldn't actually get up and walk.
Yeah, and honestly, with an earthquake, the question is it getting worse? Is it going to stop anytime soon? There's just, in the middle of it, we just couldn't tell if it was going to get any worse. It's quite scary because at the moment, you really don't have any way to escape.
And in terms of aftershocks, what have you felt any? Are you being given any advice as to what to do?
Yes, we've definitely felt a couple of small ones, and at least a couple hours ago, we know there are at least 7 registered, but we only felt one of them. So I actually was in Taiwan as a child in 2002, I believe, or no, I'm sorry, 1999 during a bigger earthquake. And we had aftershocks for days afterwards, and a couple of quite large ones. So I have to admit, right now, I'm actually still a little shaky, kind of waiting to see if another one's going to hit.
And that was the 1999, the 21st of September earthquake, 7.6 magnitude, so stronger, and 2,300 casualties in that one. That must have been absolutely terrifying.
It was. I have to say I've been terrified of earthquakes ever since. And I just moved back to Kaohsiung, Taiwan about 7 months ago. And in the back of my mind, I kept thinking that means we're now having to be prepared for earthquakes. And I have to say that's probably the worst part of living here.